event staff, student athletes, coaches, team representatives will not be tolerated. Please now stand and gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
And a pleasant good afternoon and welcome inside Archbishop Spalding Stadium as today Archbishop Spalding takes on the Hill Academy. Pete Medhurst, Terry Foy with you. Terry, for the Hill Academy, this presents an unprecedented opportunity. They have not been on the field in a competitive game against somebody now in 3 seasons. What an opportunity for them as they come to the States to take on Archbishop Spalding.
And given that, I can imagine that the most important thing for new head coach Riley O'Connor's team is managing their emotions. Can you imagine what it must be like to have dealt with the pandemic shutting down your season in 2020 and then border issues preventing you from being able to actually practice, much less play games last spring? Here you are on the field against a nationally ranked opponent to get your season started. An incredible rush of emotion for this Hill Pride.
And, of course, great player in Bowie Horseman to play off of here this afternoon, which will be key for them early.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he'll stand out as the most athletic attackman heading to Cornell. I think Horseman is kind of the talisman, but I also think that they, as you would expect, have a lot of slick Canadians that are going to be scoring goals.
No doubt about that. Meanwhile, over on the Archbishop Spalding side, look, good start to the season here at 2-0. Today, you want to establish yourself early. You got a team that's playing its first game in 3 seasons. You would think you have a little bit of advantage, but you have to play to that advantage here early in the game.
Exactly, and not only that, but also you've got to be willing to adjust quickly because you don't know what Hill's going to look like. They don't know what they're going to look like, so the scout is a little bit less filled out compared to usual.
Yeah, no doubt about that. They'll have to adjust quickly to it during the course of the contest. Spalding will wear the all-white jerseys and shorts with the white helmets. The Hill Academy in the black jerseys, the black shorts, and the white helmets here this afternoon. You also mentioned, obviously, with Brody Merrill moving into an administrative role, Riley O'Connor taking over at the helm of what has been, when it was last on the field, obviously a tremendous opportunity for a lot of Canadian kids.
No question. And not only that, but also a handful of Americans. Donnie Scott, one of the top-ranked juniors in all of high school lacrosse, number 80 from Atlanta, Georgia, spending his high school career with the Hill Academy. And for O'Connor, an opportunity to lead a team that we have ranked number 14 in the Inside Lacrosse high school rankings this week.
And, you mentioned it, too. What a sport we have now where a kid from Atlanta, Georgia goes to Canada to continue his lacrosse career.
Absolutely, and the combination of field plus box plus the way that they have prepared so many athletes for college, the college level, it creates a really compelling opportunity for a lot of Americans in addition to the Canadians.
Blake Malafi with a violation on the face-off in the Hill Academy. Right away with an opportunity to christen this game here as we are underway here in Millersville this afternoon. Great to have you with us. 1-3-2 set up here for the Hill Academy as we get going here. See Apara. They'll keep it moving around here. Shot clock at 45. This is part of what we talked about, the adjustment for Spalding defensively. No film, no scouting available here. Opportunity coming from 12 yards away. The shot and a goal. Justin Lee puts it home. And at 11:07 of the first, the Hill Academy
Justin Lee
on the board first. Great shot from Lee. It's 1-0.
And I think, not to kind of go into the pregame keys too quickly, but Bowie Horseman with the pass from X draws a lot of attention from the Spalding defense, and that's a really hard skip pass over the top into a really nice step-down shot for Lee.
Thing there is for Lee, too. He's able to get that pass at 12 yards as opposed to 15, 16, 17 yards, so he's ready to take a shot as soon as he catches it there. Plenty of time and room to get that one away. Great job on the face-off again here, this time winning it cleanly for the Hill Academy. Jack Oldman.
Oldman is a weapon for the Pride. Heading to Ohio State, there's a Canadian face-off pipeline to the Buckeyes. Justin Inacio right now among the face-off win percentage leaders in college lacrosse, but his predecessor, Jake Withers, two different styles. Withers more of a scrapper, Inacio more of a technician, and both Riley O'Connor and Brody Merrill say that Oldman falls into that Withers category, but with a violation and a clean win in his second so far, establishing himself early.
Horseman, marked by Jackson Roberts, and a turnover. And the Cavaliers with the first possession this afternoon. That matchup between Roberts and Horseman going to be one to watch here during the course of the afternoon. Roberts, defenseman, headed to Navy. Joe Amplo's team with a terrific win on the road Friday night at Johns Hopkins, winning and in Baltimore for the first time since 1969.
53 years. That was one of the most incredible stats. When it was said on the broadcast, I had two different people text me saying, there's no way that can be true.
Yeah, my colleague Joe Miller does the games with me on the Navy Radio Network. He looked up the article on newspapers.com from that game. Navy winning that game by a count of 9-6. Spalding with its first opportunity with the ball. Bouncing shot, collects the pipe. Mikey Weishar headed to Towson. Long rebound, Karam's all the way up here into the Hill Academy zone.
I think Weishar being guarded by Riley Simpson, who recently committed to Jacksonville, that's going to be a matchup to watch. Particularly, Weishar's just so explosive. He's so unique and can be very difficult to emulate when you're trying to prepare for a player like that.
Dolphins with a solid program they've built now in the northern part of Florida, both on the men's and the women's side. As the game just continues to expand by leaps and bounds, we'd like to expand it even more. Another opportunity, nice right there on the inside, knock away as Horseman gets the rebound back and puts it in. Horseman stopped initially, but comes back, collects the rebound, and the Hill Academy makes it 2-0 with 8:40 to go here in the first period.
And one thing I noticed about that possession, Hill Academy already running out their second midfield on just their third possession, showing not only that they have a lot of confidence in their offensive depth, but also benefiting from just getting more guys involved, trying to get as many guys a touch and work out that nervous energy as quickly as possible.
And not showing any signs of any travel, layover or anything like that. No hangover from that. The Hill Academy has come out impressively here in the first 3.5 minutes. And another face-off win. Trying to create something off of the face-off. Ball knocked away. Denny knocks it out. Tries to cause the turnover. Ball scooped over here to the far side, or the near side of the field. Saved along the end line and now goes over, and it will stay with the Hill Academy.
Ooh, no, it got overturned.
And now he turned the other way, yeah. Initially, he pointed in that direction.
Yeah, the near side ref overruled him, and I thought that was a really nice play by Connor McMahon to goose the ball off of a Hill Academy defenseman's or offensive player's leg and have it go out of bounds.
As you're watching the game with us, it's the dark blue lines around the field. Obviously, a lot on the high school turf field that shares with soccer and field hockey and girls lacrosse as well. 2-0 Hill, 7:50 to go here in the first quarter. Newell behind the goal, keeps it moving through Ripley. Ripley off the wing, gets to the inside, gets to his left hand, shoots and scores.
Goal scored by number 4, Race
Ripley goes upstairs and gets Spalding on the board at 7:42. It's the Hill Academy 2 and Spalding 1.
That's an important goal for a number of reasons. Obviously, you want to get on the board, answer the 2-goal output that Hill Academy had done, but for Ripley particularly, just to provide a little bit more dodging threat from the attack, which, this is going to be an offense that I think is going to initiate particularly from the midfield to show his ability to get underneath, no slide comes, and he's able to finish up top.
Third goal of the year for Ripley on 9 shots on the season. For the senior headed to the Naval Academy. And another violation against Malamphy. The Hill Academy dominating this particular category, giving them possession time here in this first quarter. 7.5 to go, and the Hill Academy leading it by a count of 2-1. Liam Matthews with the touch on the far side, backs it up near midfield and sets himself up. Down the right alleyway, slide comes, ball knocked out. Good job by Logan Mahan to knock it out. He gets knocked over from behind. It's going to be a loose ball push against the Hill Academy.
Gotta say, I've been really impressed by these Spalding defensemen in terms of their activity level, their ability to press out and create some uncomfortable situations for the Hill offensive players.
It's the one thing, too, I think you have to do, though, against the skill of some of these guys from Hill. You can't let them dictate. You've got to come dictate and be aggressive to them.
That was the point you made on the first goal in terms of the amount of space that Lee had on the step down. It was because the Spalding defense got sucked in toward the crease, and you wonder if it's because they know that these interior finishers are going to be able to catch and finish everything. I've got to make sure that there are no passing lanes inside.
Good cross-box pass here. Weishar keeps it moving for Ripley. Ripley, 12 yards away, tries to force it in right on top of the crease as he was trying to hit D'Ambrosi.
That was a really good look.
Good cut by D'Ambrosi without the ball. Passes a little bit behind him. It ends up being a turnover, and the Hill Academy starts to clear here, right to left. With Eric McDonald, number 41, in possession. Great job in the clearing game. See if Parr brings it across field.
Owen Wills, the lefty, an uncommitted senior who this coaching staff thinks is going to find a home over the course of the next couple weeks, maybe month or two, as he's really blossomed. He and his brother, a twin, looking to go to the same program over the course of the last year.
Of course, the recruiting for these kids at the Hill Academy, you're competing with not only other high school seniors, but obviously so many athletes in the transfer portal now. Good look up top. Horseman finding his teammate, William Firth. Sends it wide, backed up by Horseman behind the goal with 5.5 minutes remaining. Horseman on the dodge. He goes backhand, and he scores. Billy Horseman with a tremendous dodge from behind the goal. 5:24 to go in the first quarter. The Hill Academy 3 and Spalding 1.
This type of take has become so prevalent, and it's the type of play that Lyle Thompson created, Pat Kavanaugh has popularized even more, and it just amazes me how effective it is, and particularly because of how difficult it is to stop. You don't know the ball's coming out of his stick until it's already gone. If you're a defenseman, you've done pretty much everything right except for allow him to get to that position, and Horseman obviously both athletic enough and skilled enough to finish it.
Seeing so much skill from so many players in the sport now. Saw some great things at the Mustang Classic up at Stevenson on the Division III level last couple of days. Couple of around-the-world goals. One from in front of the crease, you expect that. But when a guy snaps one off from 15, Terry, you don't expect that. I'm not sure there's much defense for that either.
And when you're watching a game on a Friday afternoon, I don't think you anticipate seeing a play that starts to get comparisons to Paul Gates on the run behind the back pass from the 1989 National Championship against Hopkins.
Danahy with a great check there to get it away. Spalding gets it on the turnover. Ripley down the right side, looking to push. They have numbers right on the crease. Shot, and it goes off the side of the goal, and it'll be a push against the Hill Academy, so it will stay with Spalding.
That is really nice transition offense, particularly because I thought Ripley missed that opportunity by waiting a beat, but managed to find Newell on the low post, and just for, I mean, an inch removed from where that shot needed to be out of Schreier, that would have been a really pretty transition goal.
As we see the quick restarts now at the college level, the transition that's created just off of a quick restart, paying attention, ready to go. Ripley from X. Goes behind the crease. Moves up top. Shot from 10 yards away. By Nick Gutierrez. Play for the Retrievers of UMBC goes wide. Shot clock at 46 here for the Cavs. And the Hill Academy is going to call a timeout.
Gutierrez is one of my favorite players that I've been watching over the course of the last 3-4 years. His ability to just long strider, get down the alley, good dodger, but he's added more wrinkles to his game, including that hitch coming back to the middle of the field. And high bouncers go, that was a little bit too high.
Not about that. So far, I mean, let's talk about what we've seen, you know, on the college level. Yesterday, Maryland, Virginia play a neutral site game at Audi in D.C. as we continue to try and grow the game a little bit, go to a different venue here. John Tillman's team right now, I mean, I don't know if there's such a thing as peaking too early, but whatever peaking is, they've got it right now.
No question. 23-12 victors over the two-time defending national champions, and I was so impressed by their ball movement, by how many guys got involved, how unselfish they were. There's no question that Maryland is, as the kids call it, a wagon right now.
Well, I mean, think about this. 2 years ago, I think we were all thinking that for Maryland to win games at that elite level, they had to control pace. Game had to stay in the low teens, maybe, for Maryland to win. That's not the case anymore, as they have now found a way to play a little more up-tempo and be a little bit more efficiently on offense. As a result, we've seen their goal counter go up significantly.
Well, and I think Luke Weirman's emergence this season has shown that not only is the face-off position not a deficiency, but when you're going up against P.D. LaSala, who, you know, was probably the most outstanding player of the 2019 tournament, aside from Alex Rode, if you're going 66% against P.D. LaSala, you can't consider Maryland's face-off position a liability anymore.
Definitely not. After the Hill timeout, Spalding with possession, down 3-1. 4:12 to go here in the first quarter. Pete Medhurst and Terry Foy with you. Great to have you with us for this Sunday special here. And free to the crowd, too. That's the best part. A little free lacrosse between two terrific clubs. Gutierrez. Shot clock down to 25. Leisure on the right side. Back up top, Gutierrez. Just to flip it underhand to Schreier. Schreier under pressure there from McDonald. Shot clock down to 14. Gutierrez from the wing. Back behind him. Crank shot. Goes wide, and that's going to be backed up nicely there. Now we get an extra whistle from the top. We're going to have a flag down.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a legal body check or a cross check on Eric McDonald, the midfielder committed to Hopkins. He's just a kind of bona fide two-way guy, ability to play both ends of the field, clear, but on that instance he was just a little bit late.
Academy, 1 minute cross check.
So the 1 minute cross check gives Spalding the EMO here with 3:30 to go here in this first quarter. Ripley will put it back in play here on the near side for the Cavaliers. Schreier under pressure, great check. Schreier saves it all on the back line, but can he get possession now is the key. And a great job by the keeper that time, Lucas Lawless, to come out and pick it up and thwart the extra man for Spalding. Saved along the near side by a diving Ruff. He'll get it back here and settle it down.
And that's the type of play that has made Donnie Scott one of the most desirable recruits in all of the class of 2023 heading to Syracuse. And the ability to, on man down, see the ball at X, see an opportunity to go cause a loose ball, and then goose it to your goalie who's able to spark the clear. That was an incredible, incredible play.
And we talk about the increasing skill of the offensive players in this game, but it's also now really made those defensive players that do things like that shine even greater on plays like that.
And how much of that is owed to Brody Merrill himself?
Absolutely.
You know, the Merrill family founding the Hill Academy in large part because of the experience Brody had coming out of high school.
And a great job from the wing. They're going to wave it off and say crease violation.
No goal, crease
That'll
violation.
take the goal away from the Hill Academy as Willem Firth came in along the goal line but went into the crease, so the goal gets waved off. I mean, Brody, I was calling games at Navy when he was playing at Georgetown, and without question, you know, Brody redefined the long stick, and that's a bad passing and catching turnover there between Weishar and Gutierrez. I mean, just redefine how you play with a long pole in your hand.
Well, and he's still playing 20 years later. The reason he's not here at this game is because
40.
his San Diego Seals won a contest last night. That's a big part of the reason that he moved into an administrative role and gave up the head coaching responsibilities to O'Connor. He's on a plane right now, and he'll be here for the rest of the week as this is just the beginning of this Mid-Atlantic tour for Hill Academy.
And you feel for their kids. I mean, just the fact that they're actually able to get out, play some games, and obviously make a great week of this coming up with what they've endured over the last 2.5 years. Have not played a competitive game since the 2019 season. That's a lot of wall ball. That's a lot of playing catch with your teammates and practice in-house. McMahon keeps it moving. Horseman from the top, or check it. Roussel from the top, gets it away. Shot and a goal. And this time they can't take it away from Firth as he rips it from the left of the keeper. And with 57.5 to go, no crease violation that time. It's the Hill Academy 4 and the Cavaliers 1.
I chuckle because I was thinking the exact same thing. I mean, I've been really impressed by Firth so far in this quarter, but the ability to show what he showed on that waved off goal in terms of the athleticism to dodge and get to the dirt, as well as now time and room bullseye, like that's the type of player that is going to make a contribution at the next level.
Now the question for Spalding is, can you solve Oldman at all? Ryan Criswell getting an opportunity now after Malamphy had a couple of violations early, and this time Oldman moves early. So Spalding will catch a break here with 55 seconds to go in the quarter. First mistake by Oldman in this first quarter.
I'm going to guess by his reaction that he got called for having his hand on the plastic before the face-off mechanic even started.
Looked kind of stunned at the official as to like, what?
Also held up his stick saying,
Yeah.
this is how I was holding it.
Yeah, but I mean, we keep redefining the rules of the face-off position. So the guys that continue to excel at it right now, you got to give them a lot of credit. They keep adjusting to
New changes, absolutely.
what keeps changing all the time. You're taught certain mechanics, and you keep having to change it. Great opportunity here. Gutierrez with one. And good job there that time by Lawless to see it all the way. Went just above the crossbar. 12 seconds to go here in the quarter. Schreier gets it away. Wide to the near side. It'll stay with Spalding with 3.2 to go here in the quarter. Newell will put it back in play on the whistle. Throws in front of the crease. Ball gets knocked down. That'll do it for the first quarter. Playing their first competitive game since 2019. Hill Academy comes out of the gate, shining here in the first quarter.
Score is
It's the Hill Academy 4,
and
Spalding 1.
Spalding
Back with
1.
second quarter action in a moment here
We
on
would like
YouTube.
to take the time to thank our sponsors of Spalding Lacrosse. First Law, Green Capital Management, Liz Sheehy of Annapolis, and Kelly Group of Investments.
Second quarter action getting set to get underway here in Millersville. The Hill Academy leading it by a count of 4-1. Oldman dominating faceoffs in that opening quarter. Ryan Criswell will take this. Malamphy now over to the wing. Blake's brother Brett, of course, one of the most dominant faceoff guys in his time in the sport, playing down at Salisbury, won over 70% of his career draws. Oldman wins it here cleanly for the Hill Academy. Brings it left to right. Good hit defensively there to jar it loose by Mahan. And he picks up the loose ball. Finds Malamphy. Takes the contact. Triple team. Ooh, he took a shot up in the helmet area that time. And Gutierrez has it here for Spalding.
You can tell the crowd understands how important that turnover and clear was from the standpoint of overcoming this face-off disadvantage.
Crank shot from the outside that time by Weishart goes wide. Well, I mean, again, that's as we talked about, when a guy like Oldman continues to do that, puts so much pressure when you're playing defense so much, makes your defensemen, your shorties have to play that much better because they're spending a ton of time defending so far in this first half. Pass behind Ripley, unable to bring it in. The ground ball picked up neatly there by Nathan Ruff. Again, a great play by Donnie Scott on the defensive end for the Hill Academy. Eric McDonald gets it away, near side. Firth, who's had a solid beginning to this contest. Roussel behind the goal, comes around, shoots and scores.
And that's kind of the first we've seen of Alex Roussel show that ability in terms of the change of direction, the quick ability to come from behind the cage. And now when you're putting that side by side with Horsman, you're putting a lot of pressure on this Spalding defense in terms of trying to come up with answers going forward. And you can see there, you know, he basically just did such a nice job with that change of direction. He put a lot of pressure on Ross to keep up with him.
Sold like he was coming near side, planted the foot, went back in the opposite direction, and then Ross had to change direction quickly, but by then it was too late. Roussel just too quick. And the Hill Academy now leads it by a count of 5-1. That's going to be a hold on Oldman, who was beaten cleanly that time by Criswell. So Gutierrez waiting for Weishart to come on and join him here in the midfield. Cavaliers have to get busy from a scoring perspective here, down 5-1 with 10:16 to go second quarter. Weishart left side, try to do something about it. That hits off the pipe and goes all the way over to the left beyond the sideline. Backed up by Ripley on the far side for the Cavaliers.
Second pipe that Spalding's hit so far in this game, and you get the sense that, you know, based on the way it's unfolded so far, can't quite afford that bad luck going forward.
There's another one through the traffic. That one misses the frame that time. Gordon Bennett. Newell will start things through X here for Spalding. Bennett looking to dodge 1v1 versus the short stick. Gutierrez overthrows Weishart as he tried to throw it 10 yards away. Schreier tried to save it, and it's going to go out of bounds off of Spalding. I think the Cavaliers, Schreier tried to sell it a little bit, that maybe there was a push there.
One thing I noticed on that possession, the Hill changed up their defensive assignment with Scott bumping up to cover Weishart and moving Simpson down low to cover the freshman Newell at X.
Spalding not shooting accurately when they get it away. They have hit a couple of pipes so far. Now having to defend what has been a very efficient unit for the Hill Academy so far in this game. They lead 5-1 with 9 minutes to go second quarter. Horseman has the shorty behind the goal. Comes out to the near side. Brings it back to Roussel. Roussel, speed dodge from behind the goal, goes down low, and he bounces it home. Alex Roussel for the second time here in the quarter at 8:45, and the Hill Academy ups their advantage to 6-1.
Not something you typically see from a Canadian player, scoring right-handed on one possession and then coming back and scoring lefty on the other. But obviously his ability and his comfort level coming from behind the cage, he knows where he's supposed to be, he knows where he wants to get, and he knows where he's going to deliver the ball now with this kind of low-to-low shot. Does a really nice job being the goalie.
You saw a little miscommunication behind the net. Ross was behind the net. The defender went with Horseman going away from it, so Roussel had nobody to impede him here except the goalie as it came to this side. Ground ball pickup by McDonald. The Hill Academy stays with possession here. They've dominated possession time in this first half so far. Firth will play it down the side of the box to Justin Lee. Those two will exchange passes here. Switch complete in the midfield. Keaton Zavitz, wearing number 12, into the ball game for the Hill Academy. Shot clock at 40. Lefty shot, took a big hop. It took some steam off of that one. Good job by McMahon to go down and make the save for Spalding that time. Ruiz will carry in. Short hop Schreier makes a nice catch there. Gutierrez now going to set things up here for the Cavs.
I just want to point out, I only recall one failed clear in this game so far. We're probably, maybe 6 for 6 for Hill Academy and, 7 for 8 for Spalding, something in that neighborhood. And just with the amount of failed clears we've seen at the college level so far this season, I want to commend the players on both teams for the combination of ball movement and stick handling that has gotten the ball from the defensive to the offensive end pretty efficiently.
White shot from behind the goal. Looks to get away, and he does. Low to low, despite Donnie Scott being all over him. And Mikey Whiteshar, the future Towson Tiger, cashes in for Spalding. It's the Hill Academy 6 and Spalding 2.
Whiteshar, one of the breakout players of the MIAA season last year, and this is a reason why. That's just a really nice take. I especially like the hesitation to let Scott throw that last check. He gets him on his hip, and then he knows that he has an opportunity to take one more step away to get separation, and that's when he gets the shot off.
Good job by Whiteshar there. Badly needed goal for Spalding. Brings them within 6-2 here at the 6:56 mark of the second quarter. And another movement early by Oldman.
Spalding ball.
So Spalding with a chance here to have a rare opportunity for make it take it here in this first half. Ironically, we talked in the pregame, tearing our keys to the game, about how fast would the Hill Academy settle into the game. Right now, it's Spalding that's got to settle into the game a little bit here.
No doubt, and I think that this is a really important possession. If they can cut it to 3, start to build some belief, and particularly show, right now, whether it was Ripley's goal off the initial dodge and to break the seal, so to speak, for the Cavaliers in the first quarter, or that Whiteshar goal, we really haven't seen a ton that feels sustainable. I want to see more ball movement, more cutting, more open looks, more skip passes, more step downs, because if they're going to rely on their guy to beat their man every time to get a goal, I think it's just going to be a long day at the office.
Cool. Again, Low bridges the pass. Good catch there. Gutierrez brings it back up top here. Shot clock goes under 30 here for the Cavaliers. With 6 minutes to go in the second quarter, the Hill Academy leading at 6-2. Ripley has got a goal for Spalding. Here's a shot and a goal. Brian Schreier with a rifle off the pass from Ripley at 5:55. And just like that, as you mentioned, Terry, the Cavs do get 2 in a row. It's the Hill Academy 6 and Spalding 3.
And this is exactly what I wanted to see. Schreier finds space in the defense. Simpson a little bit too far sagged in, and Ripley does a nice job. He has a short stick matchup there. You can you can apologize if he decides he needs to take him to the net and try to make something happen, but he understands that if he takes that step, backs away, uses the space in order to be able to throw a good cross-field pass, he's going to find his teammate for a clear step-down look.
So good finish by Schreier. Oldman plunging down on that and eventually scoops the ground ball. You can see Criswell just trying to sweep at it and get it loose. But Oldman too strong that time. And the Hill Academy with the possession, leading it here 6-3 after watching the Cavaliers score 2 in a row.
I just got to point out the amount of youth that Spalding is running out right now. With turning to Criswell at the faceoff X, you've got a freshman taking the last 6 or 7 faceoffs, and then with Newell at attack, you've got another freshman who's dodging against guys that are a year away from playing college, really high-level college lacrosse.
McMahon is back up top through Matthews. They'll keep it moving. Matthews back up top. 5 minutes to go here in the quarter. 6-3, the Hill Academy leading.
It's an interesting decision to try to throw a zone in a Canadian team where you anticipate that the ball movement,
just like that,
is going to be a strength.
Inside, Willem Firth gets another goal here in this first half, 7-3. But here, the key area is where Firth, they continue to move the ball, and then Firth continues to relocate to open space. Look at him. You can see him already. Stick up. Hey, I'm right here. I mean, they had 2 guys right there. But the ball movement creates the movement by the defense, which opens up that area, and Firth comes from behind.
Well, and it creates the confusion among the defense. And you could kind of tell with the way that those 2 short sticks reacted that it wasn't clear who was supposed to go with those 2 cutters. When you send 2 cutters through the same zone and there's only 1 guy in it, typically you're going to find 1 guy being left open, and in that situation it ended up being Firth.
Ground ball battle through the center field. Oldman finally comes up with it here. Oldman fakes the flip to Horseman, now throws it behind him. And eventually he'll get it. Spalding had a couple of opportunities. Criswell had a chance to get that ground ball. But once it became a battle, Oldman eventually able to come through and get it. So the Hill Academy looks to add to a 7-3 lead here, second quarter. Matthews keeps it moving here to the near side for McMahon. Back to Matthews. Go far side to Ciaparo. Behind the goal, Horseman. Switching hands, looking right, now looking left. Shot clock at 25.
This is
great opportunity that time on the cut by Ciaparo, but he shot it wide. Shot clock at 15.
the type of situation that's been talked about a lot at the collegiate level, just from the standpoint of how to play these hang-ups with a man behind the goal in the shot clock era.
And Horseman from behind the goal, over the shoulder of McMahon.
One of the arguments is that with the shot clock, it's actually to the offense's disadvantage to let their guys stand behind. But off of a restart with 15 seconds left, you see if you got a guy like Horseman and you're going to be comfortable with him going to the goal, in that instance he only required 9 seconds and he got a nice shot off.
No doubt about that. Got it over the shoulder of McMahon. And you're darned if you do, because that time if your defender comes out one side of the pipe, Horseman's just going to go to the other side anyway.
That's right.
But it also helps to have someone like Horseman, like Roussel, who we've also seen excel from behind the goal in this game. Another face-off win for the Hill Academy. They look to bring it left to right here with 3:14 to go. Beautiful pass on the run, but Lee dropped it. That had big opportunity for the Hill Academy. Here comes Ross the other way in transition for Spalding to Ripley on the wing. Hits the trailer, shot goes wide that time as Brookman sent it wide. Ripley with some space here. He'll come in and shoot and score.
Shot by Race Ripley.
Race Ripley, high to high, off the restart at 2:52.
I thought he was going to take the shot on that transition opportunity. So I wonder whether or not when he decided to pass up that look, he thought, you know what, next time it comes to me, I'm going to let this one fly. That's a tough shot. That's probably, 6 yards above GLE and 8-9 yards off the post. And the lefty he knows where to put the ball.
Too much time and room for him not to take the shot there, though. Ripley's had a good first half for the Cavaliers, who cut the lead to 8-4. Again, you get the ball, you get on the restart, and the defense that time still coming back into play. And Ripley wasting no time, had a plan, executed it, and got the goal. Malamphy back on the face-off dot. He'll win it right here for Spalding. He'll do well for his confidence after Criswell had taken a bunch of draws after Malamphy had gotten beaten on like the first 4. One was a violation, and Oldman won the other 3. They turn back to Malamphy here, and he gets a big win for the Cavaliers.
And sometimes that's all it takes, right? Just an opportunity to gather yourself on the sideline, watch him take a couple other draws against a different face-off specialist, talk to your teammate when he comes off the field about what he's doing, and then...
Get a whistle here. I think, did we get a timeout?
That's what it looks like to me.
Timeout called by Spalding.
Got a timeout with 2:17 to go here in the second quarter. The shot clock at 47, and the Hill Academy leading 8-4. We expanded on the Maryland-Virginia win yesterday. Anything else from yesterday and even Friday that stuck out to you from the Division I ranks?
I don't know how you can look past the Ivy League at this point. I mean, certainly their non-conference slate featured a handful of really impressive victories, and the lone eye-catching or eyebrow-raising setback being Maryland's win over Princeton. But aside from that, Penn with wins over Penn State, Duke, and Yale and Cornell adding to some of the impressive victories as well. The league got restarted for the first time since 2020 on Saturday, and there were 3 matchups, and they were all 3 one-goal games.
Yeah.
Certainly the most epic was Princeton's 21-20 victory over Penn, but I was also really impressed by Yale's comeback. They were down 12-6 to Cornell, ultimately fell 13-12, but I think Andy Sheehan's squad can take a lot of positives away. And then Harvard was in a similar situation against Brown. They were up 12-8, and the Bears cut it to 12-11, had a shot with time expiring in order to tie the game, but Kyle Mullen made the game-sealing save. So whether it's 5-6, and I saw one poll that had 7 Ivy League teams in the top 20 because Dartmouth is now 4-1.
Yeah.
It's certainly been an impressive start to those 7 squads.
Certainly you can make a case for all of them with the criteria so far here early in the season. Changes certainly the dynamics. Here's another great opportunity. A low-to-low shot that time by Weishar goes wide. 2:09 to go here in the quarter. Shot clock at 40. Newell from behind the goal. Stops, takes advantage of the screen, brings it back up top. Weishar flips to Schreier. Schreier doesn't have an angle, carries behind the goal. That'll be a penalty coming up on the Hill Academy. Gutierrez in front for Schreier, tries to sweep at it in front of the crease, and another flag comes down. So we might have a 6-on-4 coming up here for Spalding here with 1:40 to go in the second quarter.
I've been impressed by Owen Tapper throughout the first roughly half of this game. He's a big physical defenseman, and in that instance just got a little too aggressive, probably pulled back a little too far on the slash. And then Donnie Scott a little bit unfortunate with this Schreier falling down on the crease. I think he's going to get called for essentially kneeing him in the back of the head, probably inadvertently when he was on the ground, trying to handle that loose ball as it still rolled around on the crease.
Yeah, the Tapper penalty is going to be a hold for reaching around with the stick and holding on to him in the chest. I think Riley O'Connor wants to know about the unnecessary roughness call. It looked like they indicated an unnecessary roughness. They've got 30 seconds on the clock for both. Referee definitely made the unnecessary roughness mechanic. But a 6-on-4 opportunity now for the Cavaliers, trying to get back into down 8-4 with 1.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Ripley, keep it moving behind the goal now with Schreier. Again, clock at 5. Ripley, Gutierrez, ball goes behind him. Schreier comes to save it. Now we get a timeout called by Spalding with 1:06 to go
Timeout
here
called by Spalding.
in the quarter.
Just to confirm, you were correct. They only released one of those 2 penalties. So
Okay.
presumably
Yeah.
we've got, as we see now, 24 seconds left.
Right.
in the
Scott, I was going to
Scott.
say the Scott penalty was definitely adjudicated as unnecessary roughness. Problem there for Spalding, you get 30 seconds at 6-on-4. You don't really create an opportunity. You got to take advantage of that 6-on-4 there, and they were never really close to doing that.
Yeah, and I thought that, Ripley was a little wide. When the ball swung to him, that looked like it was potentially going to be their best look, but he was just a little too far wide, and then they had 2 guys crash through the crease, and I was like, all right, well, it makes sense to have him that wide if you're trying to space out the defense, but Hill did a nice job of maintaining discipline, staying tight in their square, and ultimately didn't yield any looks into the interior of their defense.
You guys at Inside Lacrosse did a tremendous preview on the Mustang Classic Big D3 event this past weekend from interviewing a lot of the coaches there. I mean, look, they get 2 games with 1 trip, which is so critical for a lot of the Division III schools from an RPI perspective. And you can make an argument, certainly on the Division III level, without question, outside of championship weekend. That's by far the premier D3 event. What Paul Kenabene and the folks at Stevenson have done with that classic through the years now has just been tremendous. We see a lot of the same teams keep coming back because they know they can get 2 great games there over the course of the weekend.
No question. And, Dan Kaplan deserves a tremendous amount of credit for elevating the standard of our D3 coverage on Inside Lacrosse, but there's no doubt about it. It is Christmas weekend for him. He was at Stevenson the whole time. And what I find most interesting is the likes of Amherst and Bates coming down. Those NESCAC programs, obviously an opportunity to get 2 games in 2 days is really appealing, but at the same time, they already play such a tough schedule that trying to enhance it in any other ways.
Ripley again, high to high.
By Race Ripley.
And Race Ripley almost single-handedly right now, Terry, keeping Spalding in this game. 3 for him, 52.6 to go, and it's now 8-5.
And that was the exact shot that I was thinking that we were going to see on the 6-on-4. And the difference between that time and this time was 2 things. First, he was a step closer when he caught the ball. And second, he was moving toward the goal. So he was already locked and loaded. You could tell he knew that he was going to release the ball when it was in the air on his way to him.
So Spalding cashes in with the extra man goal. 8-5 now. The Hill Academy on top with 52.6 to go. And the Navy commit keeping his team in it here, showing some leadership when his team needs it the most down in this game. Ground ball out here to the wing. The Cavaliers able to pick it up. Double team on the wing. Malafi able to come away with it.
Really nice job keeping his feet underneath him there, turning back in order to avoid the sideline, becoming a third defender, and then taking a check on the top of his stick without losing the ball. An impressive play that's not going to show up as anything other than a faceoff win, but very easily could have been a turnover.
His brother so instrumental to great success for Jim Berkman and the Seagulls of Salisbury on the Division III level. 18 seconds to go. Weishart comes free, changes hands, fires down low to the far side, and the backup by the Hill Academy. They'll get it back with 13 seconds to go there. Job by Owen Tapper to hustle it out there and get the ball. Opportunity with 6 seconds to go here for Hill. Long range shot coming. That's going to go well wide. And the clock stopped with 7/10 of a second to go. And we'll see if Hill calls a timeout, and they will. I don't know if they'll put any time back on the clock or not. 7/10 of a second with that ball coming from the back line. Be pretty ambitious here. Now I think Riley O'Connor's going to wave it off. We'll see. So there won't be a timeout because they're not going to put. I think if they'd have put more time back on it, I think they would have taken the timeout. But
well, it's Spalding's ball as well.
Yeah.
So not a lot you're going to see on this other than a heave from one end of the field to the other, which Matt Rahal showed yesterday.
They can get it there. There's no doubt about it. Saw that a couple times against the 10-man ride this weekend where guys shot it about 60 yards. One guy actually hit the pipe. So they can get it done. Halftime here in Millersville. The Hill Academy impressive. Their first competitive action since 2019. They lead Spalding by a count of 8-5.
A lifetime of experiences that have been unforgettable. The kids are passionate. You walk in, there's a little bit of electricity in the building. That's hard to describe. It's something that you feel.
I care about school now. I care about all of the people I'm surrounded with every day. I know they care about me. And it's this sense of community that's enabled me to be able to push myself.
And grow through service. I feel like it made me a well-rounded human being.
I know that Spalding has everything here for all of my children, academically, emotionally, physically.
Whether it's clubs, whether it's sports, they're going to be leaders in and out of the classroom.
What I hope and pray is that at the end of your time at Spalding, you're going to remember how you felt, respected, included, and that you always felt one in Christ.
The opportunities afforded to these students just really speak to the success of this school. It's impressive.
It's more than just learning at school. Like, it's taught me how to treat people, how to grow in my faith, rather than just giving me an education and sending me off to college.
When you choose the Spalding experience, what you're getting is an environment that cares for the individual. This is a place where we welcome people home.
You're going to grow so much.
I know it may be nerve-wracking. This school is bigger than what you're probably used to.
This school, this community is truly like no other.
You will find innovation, a deepened faith life, family.
You're about to have a very crazy ride, but some of the best years of your life.
I still remember my first day.
We get to school, and my mom was like, "Don't be nervous," and I'm like, "I'm not nervous," but I was freaking out.
I really had no clue what I was walking into.
Everything was unknown and uncertain.
What if I don't find my friend group? What clubs am I gonna join? Did I bring my lunchbox?
Each step that I took closer, I could feel my heart race, this mixture of anticipation and excitement, the fear of the unknown.
From the moment stepping on campus, I immediately knew everything I had heard was true. I found what I was looking for.
A lifetime of experiences that have been unforgettable.
High school is where you figure out who you are. And Spalding cares about that.
Academics, activities, there's something here for everybody.
Whatever it is that you are looking for, we'll provide it for you.
The most challenging, relevant, cutting-edge programs, the International Baccalaureate Project lead the way.
You look at the students, they're leaders. They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually. And it starts in the classroom and then transitions directly onto the field.
The community here is one that genuinely cares about each other.
We celebrate together. We all feel the school spirit.
But we all come together on faith.
We are truly the embodiment of one in Christ.
The two questions that we answer with every decision that's made here: do we support the mission? Are we caring for our students? Yes, of course, calculus is important. Maybe you run a championship-winning team. But what I hope and pray is that our students remember how we made them feel, and that we made them feel respected, important, and that they very much felt a part and welcomed at Archbishop Spalding.
Take a deep breath.
You're going to grow so much.
You're going to be prepared for success in college and in life.
You will find a deepened faith.
Become a leader.
You're going to be pushed more than you ever have been before.
It's going to be difficult.
And this community will help you become the best version of yourself.
You're about to have some of the best days of your lives here.
And when you look back, you will realize you were always part of something bigger.
Getting out the car, walking to school, I was anxious, nervous.
It's a bigger school than I've ever been to. Didn't know any faces.
I remember sitting in that homeroom and feeling all of the nerves and the anticipation and excitement of what high school could bring. But I quickly found out that this was going to be not just my school, but my home.
Everybody had open arms.
There's a genuine love for one another.
Everybody knows everybody.
I care about all of the people I'm surrounded with every day.
When you choose Archbishop Spalding High School to be your home, you're getting a large school that feels like a small family.
You are never alone in this experience at all.
At the end of your time at Spalding, you're going to remember how Spalding lifted you up in the most positive way.
You're always going to feel that connection. You're going to want to come back home.
The Spalding community is definitely one that I would describe as united.
There's a genuine desire to serve, to exemplify Christ.
And we see that every day in this building, from something as small as a senior helping a freshman with their locker, a teacher comforting a student. We see it in the smallest and the largest acts of kindness.
I knew it would actually be my calling to strengthen the faith life of the students that were around me in the way that I had my faith life strengthened as a student here before.
There's a million different people, a million different backgrounds. People come from all over the world, but the fact that we can all come together on faith, that's literally the embodiment of one body in Christ.
Hallmarks of a Spalding athlete. Are they able to compete at the highest level possible? Spalding is positioned very uniquely because they are in one of the best leagues in the state. When they're competing at a high level, that's big time.
It was always known as a great academic school, but we wanted to build a full-rounded school for student athletes. And we knew that they could get to where they're at today.
Since I've graduated from high school, I've watched the campus grow astronomically. Spalding, it laid a foundation for my understanding of teamwork, friendship, and things that were so much bigger than what happened on the basketball court.
They're challenging themselves academically and spiritually, and it transitions directly onto the field, where that consistency molds and shapes everybody that's involved.
The future of Spalding athletically is strong and vibrant, and I'm excited for our Cavs.
The growth of this school is unbelievable to me. The opportunities that are afforded to these students, it's impressive.
The nature of our size impacts the growth because of the options that our size enables us to offer our students. We're very deliberate about knowing emerging trends. We have so many different academic programs. We have so many different co-curricular programs.
If there is anything that is of interest to you, all you need to do is ask.
It's great to see how the school and the athletic facilities have improved over the years.
When I have friends who are alumni reach out to me and I tell them that there's now an engineering building, it tells you the health of the school, which is embodied by the people who make it up. That's why it's been so successful. That's why there's so many opportunities at this school.
Getting set for third quarter action here in Millersville. The Hill Academy leading it by a count of 8-5. Ironically, Terry, our keys to the game, we talked about Hill needing to settle in. It was Spalding that eventually needed to settle in. Hill came out aggressively, attacked this game early. But later in the second quarter there, we started to see Spalding find their footing, not only on offense, but on the face-off dot where Oldman had really dominated them through the early portion of this game. As we get set to start the third quarter, what do we see now from each side here as we go into this third quarter of play?
Well, it'll be interesting to see whether Spalding continues to ride Malamphy at the face-off X, given that he settled in and did a nice job in the last couple of face-offs of that second quarter, but I also think that it's a function of the ball movement offensively that we talked about. So whether it was Ripley's crossfield pass to Shire for the, I believe, fourth goal, or the extra man goal, that is the type of sustainable offense that we're going to need to see in order for them to close this 3-goal deficit. And at the other end of the field, I think the combination of figuring out the matchup on Horseman as well as making the Hill move the ball and not get caught off redodges, not have the defensive miscommunications that we saw either on the Roussel goal when he was coming around lefty from X, or on that goal when they went into the zone and you saw the two shorties covering 0 players. Those are the types of defensive breakdowns that we're going to have to see in order for Spalding to get back into it.
Oldman striding to the face-off dot. Carried a good portion of the play here. He and Malamphy, two real talented guys. Let's see what happens here as we get start this third quarter here in Millersville. Oldman wins it cleanly. Back behind him. Malamphy tries the wrap check, can't get it. McMahon keeps it moving. Horseman to Roussel, and he scores. 13 seconds into the quarter, all set up because Oldman wins cleanly. Great passing by the Hill Academy, and Roussel goes down low to make it 9-5.
Not sure you can call that a defensive miscommunication. It really is just good ball movement off of transition. But, sliding from the post and kind of creating offense, would you rather have Horseman take that 10-yard shot? That's the position that defender gets put into. And it's a tough call, but, I thought that maybe they went a little early to the point on the fast break as well. Might have been able to put the Hill in a position where they wanted to pull that out.
Oldman brings it to the near side again. Doubles. Get knocked out. Here's Ripley with it coming the other way. Good job by Danahy to knock it out.
Danahy got out to a really nice start in the first quarter. I think he had, if not 2 cause turnovers, 2 checks that got the ball on the ground. It was a little bit quiet there. And we saw Eiley take the last face-off wing. And interestingly, I thought you saw Spalding play really conservatively off of that face-off wing. Didn't really even crash in at all. And clearly, one of the ideas was, can we take the ball away if Oldman's going to win it?
It's maybe the one area where here's a shot by Weishar, and he goes upstairs and he scores.
By number 8, Mikey
I think we're seeing a trend there. Ripley started to shoot up high. Weishar goes high, and Spalding gets the goal back. It's 9-6.
Well, not only that, but also that was an incredibly tough shot off of an incredibly nice play. Here you see Riley Simpson matched up against Weishar. You saw Donnie Scott make a little bit of a hesitated slide decision. You don't really want to leave your guy in that spot, and especially because you're kind of sliding to his back. Ultimately, it didn't matter. Weishar uses his quickness in order to maintain that step, get separation, and finish high-to-high on Lawis.
Great job with shot placement upstairs over the right shoulder. Cavaliers get the goal back. It's 9-6 here with 10:59 to go in this third quarter of play. Oldman out the front door, flips it behind. Horseman trying to save it here, scoops it back in, and Oldman is there to help his teammate save him, and they flip it back to Roussel. So fortunate play there for the Hill Academy.
That's the second time they have saved a ball with a really nice goose on the sideline. And, I don't want to give it too much credit to the fact that all these kids probably played hockey, but I'm not going to say it doesn't have anything to do with it either.
Yeah, might be part of the culture there north of the border for a lot of these guys.
Well, it's also a function of the box lacrosse background,
sure,
too. When you're digging a loose ball out of the corner, if you have a board that you're going to run into if you pick it up, sometimes that's not the best option.
Good job there that time by McMahon. Seeing the shot all the way that time from Justin Lee.
Yeah, Lee scored on that goal, on that very similar shot in the first half, and this time kind of really impressed by McMahon in terms of his ability to see through a little bit of traffic, making that shot, making that save up high.
Cavaliers trying to get as close as they've been since the first quarter here. If they can cash in now, down 9-6. Great opportunity to the far side. Shot goes wide from D'Ambrosi.
Ruff just got lost there in the wash in terms of transition coming down. Looks like the Pride have rematched up and know who's who.
D'Ambrosi headed to Flagler. Schreier behind the goal now with Ripley. 9.5 to go in the third. The Hill Academy by 3. Ripley speeding up above, goal line extended. Has Weishar. He'll use him. Shot clock at 25. Gutierrez down the left alleyway, cut off. Wants to throw it back up top and can. Schreier comes to help. Weishar now with 15. Gets to between two defenders. Shot, save! Big time save from Lawless there as Weishar split two defenders. And Lawless made a big time save.
Some of the first action that we're seeing out of number 15, Gage Noseworthy, long stick for Hill Academy, and at that point just didn't quite play the double with or onto Weishar totally effectively. And now we've got
Donnie Scott, I think, or somebody lost the glove.
Yeah, Gutierrez,
yeah.
Hill got a little bailed out there defensively. There was backside miscommunication and a Spalding offensive player alone on the doorstep when that whistle blew.
Gutierrez lost the glove. I think Donnie Scott initially thought maybe he had broken the head of his stick because he started to run off like he had broken equipment for a minute. Spalding keeps it 45 here on the shot clock. Gutierrez on the near side for Newell. Keep it moving around behind the goal now. D'Ambrosi is the dodge here against the shorty. Ripley feeds inside. Weishar quick shot and a save by Lawless. So Lawless with a couple of top shelf saves here in this third quarter.
He's got to feel good about those. I'm certain that he thought he probably should have gotten at least one or two of those up high, whether it was the one from Ripley or the one from Weishar. So, settling in with those reaction saves, he might have just gotten another one off of his foot here.
A time to deny Newell, who came from behind the goal. Freshman attackman. So Lawless coming up with 3 saves there for the Hill Academy and keeps the lead at 3. But a bad pass here, headed toward the corner. Roussel trying to save it, and he can't get there.
That was intentional by Scott. I'm not sure exactly what he was trying to do, whether it was put the ball on the ground for his attacking to get, or if he just underthrew. I guess it would have been Firth coming out of the field.
And Watson here on the near side. Ripley ready to dodge against the shorty Zavitz. Love to get to his left hand. Big collision there. And a flag down. Ripley fires the shot. Lawless turns it aside again. Zavitz turned to the official saying, me? There'll be a hold on Zavitz coming up.
Hold on the Hill Academy.
That's just Ripley doing that hesitation move where he's trying to get his body into his defender and then step away in order to get separation to either feed or shoot. And in this instance, drew a flag, which is, I guess, the third positive outcome that you can get coming away from that move.
Ripley accepting the contact, delivering the blow there, really. Gets his team an extra man opportunity. Down 3, 9-6 here with 6:56 to go in the third. Newell back to Schreier. 2 guys below the goal line here. Moving up top for Ripley. On the crease, shot and a goal. Weishar cutting without the ball, and Ripley again, Terry, finding it with a terrific pass.
And I'm going to give a lot of credit to the play design here, because what you're going to see is Weishar go behind the goal and then curl around to his left hand. And I think at this point, if you're the Hill Academy, you don't consider him a threat because he's behind the goal. Ultimately, all the attention is getting sucked up to the top of the box, and it's creating a ton of space for him to catch on the doorstep. Really, really well designed man-up play there from the Cavaliers.
No doubt. 6 helmets all looking up at Ripley up top, which includes the keeper, Lawless, in that situation. And Weishar, like he just rolled into the stadium from behind the net, said, hey, here I am. And Ripley put it right on his cross. Spalding has cut the lead to 2 now, 9-7. Closest they've been since it was 3-1 in the first quarter. 6:30 to go here in the third. As he's done all day, Oldman quells the momentum for the moment by winning the face-off for the Hill Academy. Ryan Jackman on here. Ciapara back to Jackman. Sends it to the far side for Sean McMahon. Ball dropped. Can Spalding get the ground ball is the issue. Sweeping it forward. Now we're going to get a flag here behind the play. I think it's going to go against Jackman.
Flag on the Hill Academy, number 23, 1 minute.
So the opening that Spalding needed is here. They've cut the lead at 2 now. They've got an extra man opportunity here with 5:46 to go in the third quarter. Unnecessary roughness penalty against Jackman. Ambrosian Weishar up top. Ripley on the side behind the goal for Schreier. Back to Newell, back to Schreier. Ripley up top.
Weishar sneaking again.
Gutierrez dodges past a man, shoots it wide. Weishar just below the goal line, ahead of Lawless, who thought about starting to run that out. Penalty clock at 35. Here's Ripley. Ooh, good catch up top by Weishar. Gutierrez keeps it moving. Newell back to Ripley. Weishar, crank shot goes over top of the crossbar with 17 seconds, mirroring the shot clock that has 17 seconds as well. 5:02 to go, third quarter. The Hill Academy leading at 9-7. Inside, Weishar shoots and scores. And again, coming from behind the net. But Terry, the most important part of this, each time he's made that cut, his teammates have found him with an excellent pass, and he puts it in, and all of a sudden, Spalding within 1.
And this is the third different set that Spalding ran on this extra man possession. They started with Ripley up top. On the second set, we had Ripley on that lefty wing where he had scored on the man up in the first half. And then here we see Schreier throw that top-down pass that Ripley had thrown on the prior man-up goal that Spalding had scored. So, again, just a really diversified set of trying to keep the Hill Academy man-down defense on their heels, not knowing where the look was going to come from. But Weishar certainly shown a dangerous threat on the crease.
9-8 the Hill Academy. Malamphy wins the face-off here for Spalding. Checked away from behind, though. And we're going to get a loose ball hold on the Hill Academy.
And this is a pivotal moment for the Hill Academy to understand the difference between playing lacrosse well and winning. This is the function of not having played a game since 2019. When you're faced with adversity, keep in mind this was a team that had built a 6-2 lead, probably thought we're going to coast to victory. Responding in moments like this are what winning games is all about.
A lot of situational play now coming into effect here in this one with 4:22 to go.
And I think you got to give a lot of credit to Spalding. It's not just a function of their offensive play design and some of the really impressive plays that their players have made. And oh my goodness, the third post for Spalding.
Gutierrez hits the pipe again.
Just a function of staying with it. It would have been just as easy for Spalding to kind of
could have folded up,
pack it in, and they certainly haven't done that.
Gutierrez flips it to Weishar.
I'm going to call that a flip.
Yeah. Not sure it was supposed to be that way. Weishar bounces in it, but the whistle came ahead of time. I don't know if we had an illegal pick or not.
I think that was, he was saying he wasn't set and kind of still moving when he set the screen.
So Weishar denied the game-tying goal there. Keep in mind, Loss has already made. There's a great check by Alex Ross to get it away, but Justin Lee there to pick it up for the Hill Academy. Remember, Loss has made 3 top-shelf saves in this quarter already as well for the Hill Academy to keep them in front.
And you can just tell the amount of confidence and the amount of energy that Spalding is playing with in this quarter has continued to rise as they've inched their way back in. They believe at this point, and now it's a function of can Hill Academy make a play to get momentum back on their side and squash some of that belief? Because we know that if the offense can get clicking, Ullman's going to continue to give them the ball.
McMahon looking to dodge from the point here. Shot clock down to 20 here for the Hill Academy. Lee, far side. Tall, lanky midfielder on the move. Roussel behind the goal. Shot clock at 12. Roussel. Slide comes. Get it to McMahon. Opportunity for a shot. That one goes well above the crossbar with 4 seconds on the shot clock by Firth. They try to hit the cutter, cutting in front of the crease. Ball taken away. Here come the Cavaliers. Brookman, rather. Going to play for Lynchburg, who just played in the Mustang Classic this weekend in Owings Mills. And Brookman throws it away. Good defensive pressure that time by Riley Simpson for the Hill Academy. Opportunity in transition on the doorstep. Roussel scores! So the mistake by Spalding in the midfield turns into a goal by Roussel. And with all the momentum on the Spalding side, the turnover by the Cavaliers, and Roussel cashes it in at the other end.
And I'll tell you what, that's a huge goal for Hill Academy because I particularly did not like that prior possession. The thing that crossed my mind is, when are we going to see Billy Horsman take the ball to the goal again? He didn't even touch the ball in that possession.
Right.
They had an end line restart with 4 seconds left. They had another guy pick it up. They had a offensive player already run to the box, so they were playing 5-on-6, and they decided to feed the crease, which created transition for Spalding, and it was only a function of that really impressive one-man effort to force a kind of desperation flip behind him from the Spalding defensive midfielder that led to that transition goal opportunity for the Hill Academy.
So Malanfey really struggled early in this game against Oldman. Picks up the win here. Schreier under pressure behind the goal. Defender falls down. Minute 50 to go here in the quarter. Spalding will complete the switch here. Gutierrez comes on. Ripley near side. Weishart down the left alleyway. Tries to angle in on Scott. Takes the shot. Deflects out here to the near side. This loss moved nicely across the crease area there. Minute 29 to go and a reset of the shot clock.
And after seeing Hill defensive personnel being a little less matchup conscious through the first part of this third quarter, as the score has gotten a little bit more compressed, we've seen Scott on Weishart a lot more.
Newell trying to get free. Wants to flip to Weishart. Ball knocked away by Scott, who's trailing him, and Oldman picks it up. Oldman coming the other way, right to left.
How about Oldman running a shift as a D-midi?
Looking for Roussel in front. Ball gets knocked down. Ground ball to the left of McMahon. Still loose. Now picked up. We're going to get a loose ball push, though.
They called themselves in the crease.
Yeah.
Crease violation, Spalding ball.
Thought for a minute they were going to get a push on Spalding for putting Roussel in the crease. Good double team on the far side. Weishart with the man on from behind.
The Harrows of clearing up the bench side.
Here he comes to a left-handed shot. Goes wide, bounces off the 2 players behind the goal, and Lawless quickly out of his crease to pick it up. Outlet pass goes awry for the moment, but picked up on the run by Ciaparo. Horseman now. Dodging along the goal line, 21 seconds remaining in the quarter. And we got a procedure call against the Hill Academy. 11 seconds to go in the quarter. They give it to Weishart. Weishart down the middle of the box with 5. He'll take the shot. Goes wide with 2.9 to go. Newell. The third in front. Lawless intercepts it off the pass by Newell behind the goal. We are through 3 quarters. Things have tightened up considerably here in this third quarter. The Hill Academy leading Spalding by a count of 10-8. Back with fourth quarter action in a moment.
We'd like to take some time to thank our sponsors of Spalding Lacrosse, Frost Law, Greenfield Capital Management, Lids, Sheehy Lexus of Annapolis, and Kelly Investment Group.
Go to the fourth quarter here in Millersville. The Hill Academy leading Spalding by a count of 10-8. Lamphy and Oldman ready to go at it again here. Oldman has taken them all for the Hill Academy, and it'll be a violation on Malamphy. So the Hill Academy will get the opening possession here of this fourth quarter. Game tightened up after the Hill Academy ran out to a solid lead in the first half. Cavaliers getting back into it in that third quarter now. See who can make the winning plays here in this final 12-minute stanza.
Yeah, if I'm Spalding, I feel good about the position that we're in. You know, unfortunate to give up that transition goal to give one back, but
there, right inside. Terrific finish that time by Ciaparo. Snuck inside. Almost like a box finish there, Terry, because he was in tight quarters and just snaps it home with a left hand. And the lead back to 3 at 11-8.
I'm going to give some credit here to Zavitz on the speed dodge, able to get some separation there, cause a hedge off of the long stick midi here. Eiley creates a little bit more hesitation on the inside, and then obviously, as you mentioned, Ciaparo doing a nice job finding space, catching, and getting the shot off. And, you know, that combined with the transition goal to make it 10-8, you know, really puts the wind in the sails of this Hill Academy.
Just a little detail thing, too. Where he makes that cut, instead of just cutting across the face of the short stick, he goes behind him, and the shorty's got no idea that he's there. I mean, just a little detail thing, but makes a huge difference in offensive execution.
100%. And certainly the chemistry that's required, the timing that's necessary in order to do it as well.
Look at Donnie Scott. Wins it off the wing, takes it down. But as is the case sometimes when that long pole takes that shot, the ball comes out of the cross, straight down and goes kangarooing over the crossbar.
Kangarooing. I'm going to steal that one.
I like that. I don't have that copyrighted, so feel free.
Got some marsupials in Australia that are going to come after you with intellectual property.
No doubt. I'm not even sure if that's a word, to be honest with you, so we might be okay. I have to go to the Australian version of the Webster's Dictionary. 10:45 to go in the fourth. Zavitz, nice swim move to get free. Can he get inside and shoot? McMahon makes the save.
Big save by McMahon.
I'll tell you, that's one of the most satisfying saves that you can make as a goalie, when you knew that it wasn't just your stick head, but also his foot was behind the ball as well. You feel like you're totally over it, and there's nowhere for that ball to go. Just eat it right up.
Good job in the clearing game by D'Ambrosi to make himself available on the sideline and sprint forward here for Spalding. Need to get a couple of back now, down 11-8 with 10 to go here in the fourth quarter. Weishar goes behind two teammates. Ball knocked away. Saved there, though, by D'Ambrosi. Back up top to Gutierrez. Ripley trying to get to some space. Fires, had his stick hit as he went to shoot. And that goes out of bounds, backed up by Newell for the Cavaliers. Another terrific defensive play by Owen Tapper, who's been terrific for the Hill Academy on defense today, wearing 25. Schreier goes behind him. Gutierrez, cross box. Weisher inside, Ripley. He shoots and scores. Race Ripley again. He's lived upstairs all day long. And at 9:37 of the fourth, it's Hill 11 and Spalding 9.
We saw Weishauer initiate on the prior set in this possession, and he kind of got gobbled up by a handful of Hill Academy defenders. Here we see three guys draw attention to him once again, and he does a really nice job getting rid of the ball quickly, and then Ripley with the catch, turn, finish up high. Once again, Spalding 9 goals. We're going to estimate, 7 of them have been up high on loss?
Yeah, without question. Great thing there, Ripley, is the defender went toward Weishauer. Ripley went away from the defender to create even more space. Here's Oldman creating space for himself down the middle of the box, right on the crease to Roussel. Ball stopped by McMahon. Run out on the far side. Horseman is there for the Hill Academy. McMahon with put an asterisk next to that one there, as Roussel has been sensational in those transition situations on the crease today for the Hill Academy.
Put an asterisk next to that officiating decision as well, and it's only because I don't fully understand the rule with respect to when a ball comes off an offensive player chasing down a missed shot, whether it stays with the offense or goes back to the defense by being ruled he knocked it out. Always one of those rulings that feels like it can be a little touch and go.
8:55 to go in the fourth. Good dodge here by Matthews. He'll bring it out on the far side. 20 seconds on the shot clock for the Hill Academy here with 8:42 to go in the fourth, leading 11-9. And the pass goes behind Matthews as Jackman started to look like he was going to try and back his man down. Then he wanted to throw it to Matthews, who was also closing in. He threw it behind him. So a turnover here by the Hill Academy, and Spalding with the clear starting right to left.
Makes me think that we've actually seen a surprising lack of two-man games out of the Hill Academy offense so far. And that's the type of chemistry that you would expect to see from this team based on, what we've seen from them over the course of the last decade.
So again, Spalding trying to get within one here. Counting down to the 8-minute mark. Weishauer trying to do just that. Goes up high and shoots it over the crossbar. It'll stay for the Cavaliers as Newell is back there.
I'm impressed by Weishauer's stamina. The fact that he's still just grinding and continuing to go. He's probably taken 20, 25 really high-intensity dodges so far.
Schreier bounces one home, and it's 7:51. The Cavaliers continue the comeback. This time they get within one. It's the Hill Academy 11 and the Cavaliers 10.
And this is a really impressive goal because he is absorbing all this contact from Tapper, who you called out as having a really nice game through the first 3 quarters, and it wasn't enough to knock him either off his line or really disrupt the shot. He gets a piece of Lawis, and unfortunately for the goalie, after hitting him probably in the wrist, chicken winged it a little bit and caught the underside of the crossbar.
So the Cavaliers get the lucky bounce off the keeper there, and it's 7:51 within one here at 11-10. Oldman. Ball becomes a wing battle now. Cavaliers pick it up with Alex Ross. Gonna go play for Jeff Tambroni up at Penn State. It's a big ground ball here for Spalding now with a chance. This is where we come back to the tactical and situational stuff, Terry, that the Hill Academy has been missing for almost 3 full seasons now. See if Spalding can take advantage of this here with 7:26 remaining in the fourth.
And one of the tactical situations that Spalding just chose was they double pulled the face-off, and now they're keeping Ross on the offensive end in order to prevent Oldman from subbing. They're content to play 5-on-5.
Schreier, nice catch by Weishar, shoots to the upper corner. Nearly shot that over to Randazzo Park over the houses behind the fence here at Archbishop Spalding.
You're more familiar with the Anne Arundel County geography than I am. I'm not going to be able to contribute much.
We can walk right through those woods right there, Hoss, on the other side. And we're at Randazzo Park, the home of the Old Mill Youth Association now, which has started lacrosse of their own on the youth level, which is terrific to see. They've been a long-time football powerhouse here.
Justin Ward's alma mater.
There's Ripley. That's going to be a loose ball hold on the Hill Academy. Of course, Demetrius Ballard, who's been an assistant coach here at Spalding in football, out of the Old Mill Youth Association program, now taking over as the head coach at the Severn School in football. Pass goes too high for Ripley, and Tapper is there to collect the mistake with 6:20 to go. There's Kyle Schmidt, the incredible football program here at Spalding. Of course, Mike Whittle's got the late great Mike Whittle's got the program rolling here at Spalding, and Kyle has continued to extend that quality. So we go under 6 minutes to go here in the fourth, and what has become a dramatic 1-goal game now between the Hill Academy and the Spalding Cavaliers. First of a handful of games on this trip for the Hill Academy, out of the country in Canada for the first time in 3 seasons.
Taking on Calvert Hall on Tuesday, and then #1 nationally St. John's on Friday.
Here's a down low shot. McMahon collects the shot by Zavitz.
And once again, I'm going to question the Hill Academy offensive possession. Didn't see a ton of ball movement. Not everybody touched the ball. I think at this point in the game, the combination of bleeding the clock a little bit as well as testing some of those best matchups that we've seen, just a little bit lacking. I've been surprised by how little we've seen from the Hill Academy attack in the second half.
I was going to say, we're getting to a situation now where at this time you want the ball in Horseman or Roussell's hands, certainly at this point. Here's Weishar for the tie, and it goes wide at 4:59. Shot clock at 43 here for the Cavaliers. Ripley will put it back in play. Schreier. Picked up by Scott on the switch. Finds Ripley. Top of the box. Ball gets dislodged. Nice play by Zavitz defensively. Knocks it out. Ground ball collected by Owen Wills.
Wills has done a nice job over the course of the last 10-15 minutes just making small plays. He did a nice job contesting a ground ball on the end line. He had a clear in the last possession as well. He's clearly the third defenseman on this team, but I've been impressed by what he's been able to do.
And a good job by Keaton Zavitz, who really took the ill-advised shot in the last possession, but working hard at the other end to create that turnover there for the Hill Academy with 4:14 to go. Shot clock at 49, and a 1-goal advantage for the visitors. Firth stops, finds McMahon. Sean will back it out. Near side for Matthews now. Shot clock at 30. 3:55 remaining. Matthews dodging in, left-handed shot to the near side. McMahon turns it away. Matthews tries to dive for it. He knocks it out of bounds.
And once again, we just see a possession in which Horseman doesn't touch the ball, Roussell doesn't touch the ball, and a dodge leading to a shot. When was the last time we saw a shot off of a pass from the Hill Academy offense?
It's been a few possessions, that's for sure. Probably since the last Roussell opportunity on that transition play by Oldman, where McMahon made a nice save and it went to the far corner. So 3:20 to go now. Spalding again looking for the equalizer. D'Ambrosio with a head of steam, finds Gutierrez. He shoots and scores!
Gutierrez with the goal!
Nick Gutierrez drops down, goes high, 3:06 to go. We're tied at 11.
What a goal from Nick Gutierrez, wearing number 7, a number that's incredibly important to this program, honoring Andy Easter. And I talked about how much I liked him as a Dodger in the first half, but here he is as a set shooter in transition or in an unsettled situation, and that is such a juice goal for this Cavalier offense.
Just like you talked about with Ripley earlier, he knew he was going to shoot that. Catch, front foot already loaded, ready to go down. As soon as he planted it, he let it fly, and we're tied at 11. Oldman wins the big face-off here, though. Takes it below the restraining line, and we get a timeout by the Hill Academy. Things have changed here in Millersville. The Hill Academy ran out to that lead in the second quarter. The Cavaliers have finally worked their way all the way back here with 2:59 to go in the fourth, and we are tied at 11. And again, the thing that we've seen, certainly from Spalding, in getting back in this game is diversity in attack. You mentioned it. We saw a lot of creativity on offense on the EMO, and you're seeing guys all throughout, Weishar, Ripley, Gutierrez, different guys that can score the ball for you because, as you know, when they get into their MIAA schedule, teams, of course, scout each other considerably. The preparation is different. You're going to need different guys to be able to come up for you big because teams are obviously going to try and take Weishar and Ripley away from you.
And we talked about the youth on this team, particularly with Newell, a freshman at attack, and he's the type of player that you're going to expect to see continue to develop and blossom as the season goes along. You've seen a lot of the first midfield for the Cavaliers, and I would imagine that over the course of the next few games, you're going to see some of those second-line midfielders develop a little bit more confidence, develop a little bit more in-game chemistry with each other, with the attack, and that they're going to be able to be relied on a little bit more once the conference season gets underway.
Good starts to the season for Schreier and Newell. Both came in with 7 goals. Weishar, of course, with 8, but Ripley only had 2 goals coming in, but he's been the goal scorer today with 4 on the afternoon for the Cavaliers here with 2:59 to go. Gutierrez has been a little bit of a shooting slump on this season with 1 goal on 10 shots coming in, but that one found the target perfectly. Now we'll see if the Spalding defense can come up with a big stop or if the Hill Academy can make the play they need here offensively. And there's Roussel, at least with a touch on the possession so far, but this ball needs to get to number 1 behind the crease here. Firth. Zavitz now on the far side. Shot clock at 50. Plenty of time here for the Hill Academy. 2.5 to go. Ball gets knocked away. Ground ball battle picked up quickly there by Firth. Anxious moment for the Hill Academy there as that ball was deflected. And they try to throw it to the opposite side of the crease for Roussel. And McMahon has it. Ball gets deflected. But Ross is there for the home team. That was a case where instead of making the ordinary play going to Horseman behind the goal, they tried to make the extraordinary pass to Roussel on the other side of the crease. Spalding able to knock it away with 2 minutes to go. And we're tied at 11.
And even prior to that, we saw Hill Academy come out of the timeout. They clearly wanted to initiate from the midfield up top. And I can understand that, but still, value in just working the ball all the way around, making sure that everybody gets a touch and try to test some of these defensive matchups.
Oh, there's a great poke check by Scott to knock it away.
Donnie Scott showed repeatedly throughout this game why he is so highly thought of as a recruit heading to Syracuse.
Get a chance to work with Syracuse assistant Dave Petramala, now running the defense up there at Syracuse, and I'm sure they will be glad to get their hands on number 80. He has been fantastic here today.
Timeout called by
But that's
the
also
Academy.
that's a play too. I mean, you can make subtle plays during the course of the game, but what can you do in situations like that? Tie game, other team has the ball, momentum on their side, and we talk about all the offensive players making plays, but a guy like Donnie Scott there on the defensive end becoming a playmaker for his team.
Absolutely, and that was just a prototypical old school takeaway check. You know, the ball in isolation, one-on-one with each other, and he just throws a really nice dodge, a really nice check, and it lands on the head of the stick and dislodges the ball. And then I got to give credit to Tapper throwing, what was that, a 50-yard clearing pass to Firth in order to set up this timeout. I'm curious what we're going to see from this Hill Academy possession. I mean, we've talked about it over the course of the last 6 minutes. Are they going to get Horseman a touch? Are they going to rely on him to initiate from X? At least are they going to get the ball all the way around and get everybody involved? Last time we saw them come out in a 2-3-1 set, they transitioned into a 3-2-1 umbrella, and that's where we saw them mishandle at the top of the box. Are they going to go back to that same action? We didn't see what the play was, so certainly not clear to the defense what they meant to do coming out of the last time out, but similar situation. Time is not a factor from a shot clock standpoint. Tie game, you need one here in order to avoid going to overtime.
Minute 23 to go, 64 seconds on the shot clock. So start here on the near side with Matthews, placed back up top for Zavitz. In the midfield, we'll see Ibarra. Horseman behind the goal with Firth and Jackman, or McAlee rather, on the interior. Again, content to play here off the wing with 60 seconds remaining, 40 on the shot clock. Zupar against Brookman on the far side. Flips it to Horseman. Horseman now back up top for Zavitz. Shot clock at 20. Game clock at 40. Tied at 11. Matthews here on the near side. Along the goal line. Draws the slide. Matthews goes down. Still with the ball. Throws it back up top. Zavitz with a chance. He scores! Zavitz with a rocket from 15 yards with 26.6 to go. And Zavitz goes upstairs. And the Hill Academy leads at 12-11.
We talk about it all the time on the Inside Lacrosse staff. Usually it's joking, but the fall down dodge is undefeated. Usually it doesn't lead to a pass. That was a 15-yard pass from his backside to set up that incredible step-down shot from Zavitz.
So Keaton Zavitz with a rocket to make it a 12-11 game here with 26.6 to go. Give Matthews credit to stay poised with the ball in his cross on the ground. And Oldman wins the faceoff. Spalding trying to double him on the far side. Reverses his field. That's a nice move by Oldman. Finds Scott. Firth on the doorstep. They try to get it away, and it's taken by McMahon. 9 seconds to go. He throws it all the way to length of the field, though. He had time, but Lawless will have it. He'll throw it high in the air, and the Hill Academy, in its first game since 2019, in dramatic fashion on the goal by Keaton Zavitz, wins it here in Millersville by a count of 12-11.
That concludes today's game.
I mean, you can see the emotion from top to bottom on that Hill Academy roster. I think the combination of excitement to get back on the field, relief to have come away from a victory, and joy to just be able to make the plays that were necessary down the stretch in order to be able to hold on to it, clearly coming through in the way that they stormed their goalie.
Tip of the cap to face-off man Jack Oldman winning that big face-off after they get the go-ahead goal. They stood in midfield shaking the hands of all three officials as they walked off the field. Sportsmanship still means a ton in this game. Jack Oldman showing it right there as we had a great game here this afternoon. And look, for the Hill Academy, your first competitive game in 3 years, and you win it in such dramatic fashion. But again, poise in a situation like that. Matthews kept his poise, and Zavitz plenty of time and room to crank one up for the game winner.
No doubt. And I think, the other side of the coin is not just about what's in their past, but it's also about what's in their future. And with games coming up against Calvert Hall, which is a bona fide rivalry, having played for 15 years since the start of this Hill Academy program in 2007, 2008, and then having St. John's on the backside of it, that's a momentum-building victory. And for Spalding, they were tested, right? 2-0 coming in. This was the stiffest test that they were going to see so far. And for the Cavaliers, going undefeated isn't necessarily the goal. The MIAA championship is the goal. And as a result, this is the type of game where you can learn a lot from to position yourself for better going forward.
No, there's no question about it. I mean, you can play a cupcake anytime you want, but you get better by playing better people. Spalding certainly welcoming the Hill Academy as part of this tour here today. did just that here this afternoon. We'll see how much that helps them going forward. You also go back to the Donnie Scott play with the game tied, minute 23 to go in his own end, knocks the ball away to get the ball back for his team. He and Tapper terrific on the defensive end. At the other end, Weishar, Ripley, as good as advertised this afternoon for Spalding as well.
No question. I mean, Weishar, his ability to finish on the doorstep, catch feeds in traffic, but the explosiveness in his dodging and the ability to continue to go back to the well over the course of the game, that stood out and impressed me. Ripley, a sense for the moment, an understanding of when to make what decision, as well as showcase that he's not just a lefty shooter. He's able to beat you off the dribble as well.
All right, that'll do it for us here this afternoon. Great job by all of our cast and crew on this chilly, windy Sunday afternoon here in Millersville, but we brought you a thriller. The Hill Academy wins it on the goal by Keaton Zabitz by a score of 12-11. Good afternoon from Millersville,